I'm 29, and I grew up in a strict Christian household where traditional gender roles were drilled into me from a young age. My granddad, though, wasn't like the rest of my family. He hated that my parents raised us that way, and as I got older, I started to hate it too. I ended up becoming much closer to my grandparents than to my own parents. I have an older brother, and my parents basically crowned him the second king of the house. My grandparents, on the other hand, had this beautiful home, no neighbors, lots of trees, and a big garden. They spent years paying it off, and it meant everything to them. My granddad had serious back problems and a condition that kept getting worse. After my grandma passed, his health started to decline fast. Eventually, he needed in-home care, but he refused to have a stranger living in his house. I think it was because the home still felt like my grandma's in so many ways. My parents weren't sympathetic at all. They actually called it karma, saying he was finally getting what he deserved. They made it clear they weren't going to help and were already talking about putting him in a facility, so I moved in. It just made sense. My job is remote, and this way he'd have someone familiar around. No awkward introductions, no rotating nurses mispronouncing his name. And you know what? For a while, it felt like the old days. Like my grandma was still there somehow. We laughed more than I thought we would, talked about her a lot, and cooked the meals she used to make. It wasn't perfect, but it felt warm again. Then things got worse. He started going downhill quickly, and through all of it, I never got a single message or check-in from my mom, dad, or even my brother. One day, we were joking around, and he said, maybe I should just give you the house instead of your dad. He's just going to give it to your brother anyway. He laughed right after, so I thought it was just a joke. Then everything fell apart. I was the one who found him. I had to make the call, handle everything. Even though things were strained with my parents, I knew they had to hear it from me, not a stranger. The funeral was the first time in years we truly connected. Hugging, crying, all of us raw and vulnerable. Then came the will. It wasn't overly dramatic, but it was intense. The house that was supposed to go to my dad was left to me, along with several other things my dad had planned to give to my brother. Immediately, I was accused of manipulating my granddad. My brother started yelling. A week later, he came to the house in tears. He begged me to give it to him because his home was too small for his wife and baby. He argued that since it's just me and my husband, and we don't want kids, I don't really need the house. I told him to leave, but I felt horrible. Now my whole family thinks I'm in the wrong. And honestly, I feel like I might be. He's right. I don't need the house. I have a good job, and I could easily live somewhere else.